too. Kijk if it's getting picked up over there. Wat dat het die dus? Weet ik niet, even refreshen. Ik denk het niet. Check, check, check. Mic check 1. Yes, looking good. And then that's the screen. Yes, guys, it appears that we are live. This is the last live stream of this year. It's not only the last live stream, it's also probably going to be one of the last Mercedes-Benz videos in a while. I covered the brand, the most desirable cars of the brand I covered on my channel. As always, you can leave me comments in the description box of a certain car that you miss. For all the subscribers out there that are like fans to the channel, you know, they know what's out there, what kind of videos I already made, what I posted. For instance, I didn't cover the A-Class. For instance, I made a POV video of the A-Class, but I didn't make a review, for instance, from the A-Class from 1997, 98, like the late 90s. Couple of other cars that I didn't go in depth with, but the most legendary cars, the most desirable Benzes out of the range, they all been covered. And the most popular videos on my channel so far has been the C-Class, the E-Class, the S-Class, and they've been all covered, multiple generations. So now I will move from Mercedes-Benz to BMW starting with the 1st of January. But as always, if there are many people there that want a particular car in the Mercedes lineup that I haven't covered yet, just leave me a comment, you know, it can be done. But yeah, when it comes to my opinion, I think I covered all the desirable cars of the brand. So this is going to be kind of a closing video on Mercedes-Benz as a brand. And also this time we talk about your first Benz. Most of the people out there, they are interested in Mercedes-Benz, otherwise you wouldn't subscribe or check this channel in the first place. And this video is going to be all about if you have some cash on your hand, you just have your first job for a couple of years and you're just interested in buying a Mercedes-Benz, either from, you know, the 90s, a little bit old school, or from the 2000s, or maybe even a little bit more recent, when you talk about a modern Mercedes-Benz with lots of mileage. So without any further ado, let's just get this show started. So we're going to go back to the configurator here, so search for Mercedes-Benz, and we're going to start with the CLK, which I recently also was looking into. I'm not going to bother with model year or anything. I'm just going to fill up a price, maximum 50,000 euros. Mind you, this is a Dutch website. Car prices for Mercedes-Benz are quite high. We pay a lot of tax. Cars are expensive here. Also, during the pandemic, there is a shortage of chips. So new cars are not readily available. So a lot of people, they go to a second-hand car, which drives up the price as well. Combine that with the pandemic, that everybody, you know, kind of wants to go away from public transportation and wants to own a car. Another factor why these prices are high. So CLK. What can 15k in euros buy us? It can either buy us a 2001 with almost 240,000 kilometers on it, a 200 with a compressor for 3k. Okay, I just have to show you that what kind of Mercedes buys you 3k. This CLK. Let's check. Okay, 200 compressor, 5-speed automatic. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, first of all, this is an old car. I do have love for old Benzes, I really do. It's just something about them, but when I already see this picture and I see it's a small garage, yeah, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, so to speak, but it doesn't give me very warm feelings. And then also here, this hatch, nah. Who's gonna, you know, tow heavy stuff here with a 2-door CLK? Yeah, entrepreneurs, street pharmacist, I don't know, you know, I'm just saying. So 3k AMG badge on it, while it's not okay, that I wouldn't do it. The rims are not original, but you know, just for the sake of this video, 3k. All right, does has a AMG steering wheel, I see. Does it also have AMG gauges? No. On the surface, the ladder doesn't look too bad, but see how the picture was taken, you don't see what's under here. And this is where the driver is. If you drive this car all the time alone, yeah, then it looks fine here. But yeah, who knows? This looks all fine, and it's all in leather, which gives it a nice feel. Okay, here you see the leather. It seems okay. Okay, now let's back off a little bit. So 2001, it's quite old, 20 years old, 3K. Any specifications? 164 horsepower, 0 to 60 miles or 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 9.1 second. Euro 3, 4-cylinder with a turbo, or I should say compressor. Yeah, okay, could be a fun little car. Yeah, again, 3K, check the service history. We have here something in Holland called NAP, which stands for Nationale Autopas, which is make sure that every time that you service the car, the kilometers are put in the system. So if you go to another garage, they can check, and that way you have only when you do some maintenance, you have one checkpoint a year where they can check your mileage, and it has to go up the mileage, right? You can't put it back. But what some people do is they drive maybe 100,000 kilometers in a year, and they put it back 50,000 kilometers, and then it seems this car only driven 50,000 kilometers. But to be honest, if you know something about cars and you do your research, you know what kind of parts need replacement at a certain mileage. So also based on that, and just a certain feeling you get from the car when you drive it, that can all determine if a car is trustworthy. Service history, even the place where you're buying it, the guy that sells it to you, how does he look, how does he respond, little subtle things most of the time. Okay, this is a 2004. They still ask, so this is the newer generation. Hasn't driven that much, but this is a convertible, so you automatically pay a lot more. But if you buy a convertible here in Holland, yeah, I mean, we do have some good summers. Last summer was not one of them. Let's see how I can do this. Oh, this website sucks. Just a second. Classic. I like Benzes from the early 2000s. I just do. There's just a certain level of class about them. We're just gonna do it like this. So no, this is not good. I will just zoom in when I see something I want you guys to see. All right. Yeah, straightforward. Okay. It's okay. Just for the insiders, when it's a model year 2004 and it has a license plate like this, these license plates with like 2 digits here, couple of letters here, and another one here, that means that the car is put on that license in 2008 or after. So that means that the first 4 years of this car's lifespan were somewhere abroad, probably from Germany. You can get lucky and get a full overview of service history, basically. But if you don't, then it's like this. 4 years, you don't know what happened with the car. Maybe it didn't have any service at all. If it comes from Germany, of course, they all have their own service and own guidelines. So the car does have something, but you all want to have it on paper, right? That's why I always say a full service history is very important. Otherwise, you're just flying blind. Okay, this looks quite neat. When you look at the wood, I mean, he made some close-ups of the wood. The gear knob, it's a 5-speed, I think, or a 6-speed. I will check later. Or is this? Oh no, this is automatic. Looks automatic. But they just show you the ladder on this one, just to show you that it's not really worn down. But yeah, maybe the picture is a little bit unclear here, but it looks like it's worn down. And for 160,000 kilometers for automatic gearbox, like something that you don't really need to touch because it's an automatic, right? These kind of things, put them all together and just ask yourself a question. Is this reliable? Is this a believable story, so to speak? All right, moving on. First, and this looks aftermarket. Yeah, this is aftermarket, I think. They didn't have that back in 2004, but it looks all right. Here, an old car kit from the Nokia phones. Guys, I'm also from that generation, so I know. Yeah, you see automatic gearbox. Okay, fine. But from the side, a little bit strange picture because I don't see the back here, but probably go into that later. Yeah, on the looks of it, it looks fine. This is it. Okay, here, the front. I don't know why they don't show the back. That's okay. They do here, and they just did there. Okay, I'm just complaining of nothing. On the surface of it, it looks nice. It's a 240. Let's go into some specs here. Let's check. Come on, where are you? Accessories are here. 170 horsepower. Sorry guys, it's not enough for a nice driving experience. Need to go over 200 at least. These kind of cars you don't really want to drive to the supermarket, right? You want to put a few 100 kilometers on it each weekend when you have time and you fancy a drive, basically. And then, yeah, I mean, it reaches 230, which is fine. It's a, yeah. Anyway, it's nice. It's nice, but doesn't really do it for me all the way. Let's find something special. These are old cars. A 350 AMG, 2007, more than... Okay, we'll do it differently. This is either AMG or AMG line. Yeah, this looks nice. This looks like, yeah, gives you just a certain feeling, you know, in black, nice Mercedes rims. I think they're original. I think Mercedes had a design like that. Black is always good for a Benz, I think. Yeah, black and more black. It's not really super uplifting, but hey, you also have red leather for the guys that want it, you know. Okay, looking good. Not sure if this is an AMG, but it looks sporty. I think this is more like what used to be originally in the car, but I can imagine you putting here some kind of Android system in it to make it a little bit more, you know. Oh, double tailpipes. Could be AMG, but I think 350 is a weird engine configuration, and then I don't know if they had AMG line back then already. I don't think so, actually. I think that's something of the last 10 years. But I think the 350 means a 3.5 liter either inline or V6, but we're going to check that out. Car looks nice. It looks good. Kilometer wise, it's fine for a 6-cylinder, so yeah. Price was also again 10k. Yeah, that's so you're well under budget, and it looks on the surface of it, it looks nice. It looks nice. If the kilometers match and you have a full documentation service history, then this would be something I would be interested in. Here they also say NAP, so there's an extra check on the kilometers. 272 horsepower, which is good. You see, that's good. It need to be at least over 200 horsepower. It's a coupe. It need to be fun. It need to be fast. Need to be responsive. Need to be torquey. Don't need to necessarily be fast or attack any corner. I mean, also that's not what you buy a Mercedes for, right? But it need to have something going for itself, basically. So more specifications. I want to know something about this car. Okay, here they say different number. Here they say, okay, now yeah. All right, 6.4 from 0 to 60. All right, automatic, 3.5 liter, 6 cylinders. Guys, I'm sorry, I don't know if this is a V6 or an inline 6, but it doesn't really matter. A V6 is a nice engine, especially in a car like this. 2-seater, more than 1,500 kilos. all the options that it has, all these sensors it has, the cruise control, the they said they mentioned here twice, cruise control and cruise control. Okay, now again, if you go to these kind of things, you want to check what it has. Even ISOFIX, if you have a kid, bring them along in the CLK AMG. Moving on. Let's see what else can caught my eye. 11 200 2007. Guys, these cars are getting old. They are getting old, but there can be some pearls here, and I don't know. 10K is not a whole lot of money for a car, especially not for Mercedes-Benz. But for 10K, you also buy yourself a nice Volvo with a 5-cylinder. That's not why you're watching this video, I understand. But you're gonna always pay a little bit premium because you have a Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benzes might be expensive, but because of certain types, the longevity, it will last on you. It will last, and it can do some serious mileages. If you calculate down to the cost on each kilometer, then sometimes a Mercedes-Benz is even cheaper than some cheap Japanese car, because a Japanese car is also reliable. Yes, so say the mechanics, so that's what the statistics say basically. But if you have to replace anything, the parts are expensive. Mercedes-Benz parts are not super expensive, depending on what you need. And you also have good alternatives or refurbished things. Not that you should do that, but there are ways to save money on certain parts. You just got to know your addresses, but you buy this kind of car for the love, for all the stuff that comes with it. It's never, especially a car from this time, 2007 or before, it's never going to be a trouble-free experience. It's just not possible. Okay, moving on. Anything? This is also looking nice. This one, yep. After that, we move on to another type of car. Let's see if we can open it like this. Yeah, looking nice. These rims are even a little bit more, yeah, they're still sportive, but not that, yeah, I can't find the word. It's, this looks more original somehow. Also a compressor, don't know if it has an AMG on the badge on the back. Yeah, stylish, right? Wood. Leather seats look okay-ish. This is 2007, right? Yes. Also automatic gearbox. I don't think you will find a manual in a Mercedes-Benz anytime soon. Yeah, like very first gen, second gen infotainment, navigation system. Okay, this is why you buy it, with a nice V6 under the bonnet, under the hood, cruising. Right? I think it looks AMG. I can't really read it, but yeah, just get that off, guys. If it's not an AMG, then just get it off. Like, enjoy the car, but don't pose, If you have an AMG, you also have this as a CLK 55 AMG. But anyway. Here is service history. You can also see it been to different kind of garages. And why is that? Did the owner move, or did it switch owners between? See, this is 2008, and this looks like 2010. So what happened in 2009? Can you explain to me? Details like this, guys, and that's why you watch me, right? So, great. So this is probably a 2.4 6-cylinder. It's looking nice. It's really looking. I like it. This looks desirable to me. Also, the license plate checks out, and here in Holland we can do a check on the number of owners. Let's just do that. And show you how I do that. So we have this car website. Yes. And we go back. So this is 18NX. 18NX, and then DN. Check. So yeah, you can see also on this website it checks if it's for sale. It is for sale. We already saw that. So what I'm interested in is, okay, number of owners, 3. Okay, so this is original Dutch car then, 2004, first date of registration in March, and it just changed owner in 29 October. It's okay, but this probably means that it's now registered to the car dealer that sells it. Here, the dealer, Ammon. So maybe it even had 2 owners. Worth checking out, right? So that's, these kind of things are important. 180,000 kilometers, 2004. Yeah, it's been a weekend car. It's been a cruiser. It's a 6-cylinder. It's a 2.4, I think. That's what I saw. Okay, 170 horsepower. It's not a whole lot, but all the rest of the car checks out. This is almost this is 2.5, 2.6 6-cylinder. Yeah, with 170 horsepower. That also means that these engines are quite bulletproof. They have quite some displacement. They don't really have a lot of power. So the engine doesn't really need to work that hard, right? You also have, let's say, for instance, the A45 AMG in the Mercedes-Benz. That's a 2-liter with a turbo, producing, I believe, 380-ish horsepower. Trust me, those kind of engines are stressed. They can handle it for a while. They've been tested thoroughly. Mercedes-Benz spent lots of R&D to make sure that these engines are good and bulletproof, but they are stressed. They're under a lot of stress, a lot of high pressure from the turbos. And this is, I think, a non-turbo. Is it a compressor? No, it's not even a compressor. Engine-wise, it's a reliable option. It looks nice. History checks out as far as I can see. This would be an option for me. And that's how I value cars, and that's how I look at cars. And just, a car is you buy a car with your head. And after that, it goes to your heart. That's all I want to say. Okay, this is CLK. Anything more that I want to see? Compressor. Yeah, I would go for a compressor. If you can go over 200 horsepower, then yeah, I think that suits the car best. Don't go for the basic car. Spend a little bit more on at least a 6-cylinder. Okay, we go back. We saw the CLK. That could be something nice. When you want a little bit more class, I would check the CL, for instance. We go to the CL class. And I'm going to drink a little bit of water in just a second. I always like this one. The R129 internal code for this car. Also made a review about this car, buyer's review. Yeah, for me, this is desirable. This is the 90s. When you had any bit of money in the 90s, you bought a car like this. And I still think they're desirable. I still think they're good looking. And these are classic Benz. And I love classic Benzes. I like Benzes from the 80s and 90s the best. Early 2000s I also like, but after that, it's just become more of a throwaway product. And these cars were just exceptional. Also a convertible. This is 96. Yeah, they're getting old, guys. I know that. And this is a SL280. Yeah, I go for a SL500. Just a 5-liter V8. I know it consumes a lot of petrol, but the refinement is top notch. It's just top notch. Even back in the days, rapper Tupac Shakur had one. Lady Di had one. Many street pharmacists owned one. So, they always renowned for their good class and taste. Especially they got a lot of money and don't have a lot of good taste. But in this case, yeah, I can see myself cruising this car even from east to west on the East Coast. I would, open the top when you're on the West Coast and close the top when you're on the East Coast, basically. Would it fall apart in the meanwhile? Depends. Really depends. Engines from this time were bulletproof. Emission-wise, emissions, weren't really taken in consideration. Not a lot of things hindered the engine, like they do nowadays with the not even a 1 liter 3-cylinder, with a turbo. And back then it was just a lot of displacement. A lot of displacement, and you can drive these cars with low RPM, and they would be torquey, and they would respond very easy, basic automatic gearbox, probably 4 to 5 speed, but we'll find out in a second. Just a simpler time. And I like simple times, right? Why make things complicated? All right, so 12K, that's not too much, but yeah, if you're not that fortunate, maybe you need to spend another 12K to make it look and feel like a real Benz. That's the downside of it. But this could be a nice start for project car. Think about it like that. And it has a hard top, not a soft top, which is great. And also this color, I just told you earlier, black is a good color for Benz, but hey, this Bordeaux red, or I don't know how you call it in English, suits the car perfect. Now some specs. So almost 200 horsepower. So that's good. That's a nice power figure, I would say. 6-cylinder, built in May of 96. The 2.8 V6 or inline 6. Automatic gearbox, a 4-speed. Anything interesting more to... Okay. 240-ish thousand kilometers. Yeah, again, we have to make sure that the service history matches. 96 is a long time ago, guys. But again, parts are still readily available. These kind of engines were from a time that engineers run the company at Mercedes and not these accountants. And 12K, yeah. I mean, you can spend this on an MX-5 Mazda, right? And maybe you have more fun in the corners or when you go to the Nuremberg ring or something, but you're there with your MX-5. Yeah, I'm just saying this car would, long journeys, cruising. This car is not for blasting down the autobahn, not at all. This is for cruising. This is cruising 140, 150. And enjoying the view, enjoying the stereo, enjoying a certain feeling. Always when I look at the dials of this Mercedes-Benz from this era, it just somehow takes me back. I mean, I was 11 at the time when this car came out, but still, there's something. It's something weird in me, right? That I just have a passion for these kind of old Benzes. But it is what it is. Moving on, guys. Let's see if we find an SL500 or something. Here they say themselves, roestvrij means rust-free. Yeah, some of these cars are rusting away, really depending on the climate where they're from. Okay, this is a newer SL. I'll just open that one as well. All right. SL, a lot of 300, 320. Here, this is a SL500 AMG design. 91 is even older. SL 300, 380, the older. Okay, let's check first this SL 500. It has a French license plate, I see. That's all right. I mean, a little bit strange light where they made these pictures, but okay, this is not original 500 SL. All right. AMG Designo. Okay. The interior looks like this car been cleaned properly before these pictures were taken. Yeah. Automatic. This is a car that you really have to see up close. 185,000 kilometers, almost 11k, but then you have the SL 500, which is the 5-liter V8. Yeah, this is how you want it. Anything else I can show you? How many horsepower does it put out? 326. For the time, that was amazing. That was amazing performance, especially for a car this size. I don't know if it's weight. Let's see if I can see that. Doesn't say. No, doesn't say. But these cars, even though they're a 2-seat coupe, they're heavy. They're heavy. The engine is heavy. A V8 is heavy. Also, these cars are not made for attacking the corner. Anyway, we'll move on. Not to this one. First is 93 model. This looks pretty good on the picture. Classic rims. Okay, open a little bit like this. Great. They have other toys here. This looks like a Jag. All right. Here you have, I don't know what language this is. Is this Spanish or Portuguese? I don't know. Iglesias. Iglesias? What's the singer's name? Is he Spanish? He's probably either Spanish or Portuguese. I don't know. But maybe this car comes from Spain. Maybe that's why it's rust free, because it's always been out in the sun. They don't have any snow over there. I don't know. Yeah, on the surface it looked great. Also like these rims. They are really reminding me of the E500 W124 E-Class. But it also looks good on this SL. Yeah, it looks spotless here on the pictures, but you really have to see it and look at it. Don't know what this is, if this is a reflection or... Alright. Some Michelin tires on there. Oh, skip the most important. Alright. And this is a 300, right? Okay, cabrio. So this is a convertible. Wow, this looks... But small details. Talking about details, let's go into the specification. So this is a 3-liter, probably V6. Okay, a lot of things. Unbekend betekent unknown. That's strange. All right, now let's see. SL, almost 200,000 kilometers driven. 93, did 320. All right. August of 93 is the first time they put it on a license plate. They say it's not imported, which is strange because I saw some Iglesias. Forget about this name, but it's not a Dutch name, all right? So I don't think you drive to Spain or to Portugal to service your car and then drive back. Yeah, I mean, why not? You could do that, actually. I'm gonna drive 3,000 kilometers. You know, then the car is up in optimal temperature. I can enjoy it. Then I book a hotel for 2 days, and yeah, then my car will be serviced, and then I drive back. Could be an option. I think you're pretty balling if you do that. You know, that would be great. Here we have some wow, think about it. A 2-seater coupe. Almost 1,800 kilos. So 3-liter, 6-cylinder, rear-wheel drive, producing 191 horsepower. On the looks of it, it looks great. I just have a feeling it's imported. And it's quite old, 93, and of course the service bill with We just call them in Portuguese. You know, at least not somebody here from Northern Europe. Uh, just raises a flag. Okay, we're still at the SL, and I don't know how long we're already recording, but it doesn't really matter, right? I have time. I hope you guys have time. Stick around, right? So this is the SL500 from 2002. So this was the model that came after the SL that I just showed you. I don't know the code name out of my head for this one. I also did a review on this car, so if you're interested, you can always go in depth to check these cars out, what their weaker parts are, if you're interested. Just saying. You know, this is the big celebration video for Mercedes-Benz, basically. So moving on. So this was the model that came after the legendary R129, the one I just showed you, my favorite SL. But to be honest, I also have love for this one, and this is in budget, I see. Isn't that great? Let's just check it out. See, it's just early 2000s. It's just, yeah, bigger, better, yeah. But again, I'm a little bit more nostalgic sometimes, don't know why. Might be the age, might be something else, I don't know. I like old Benzes. But I have love for this one. Let's keep on moving. 4 tailpipes, so this is the SL500. I'm very curious about its output. Let's check the license plate. License plate matches. This is looking good. This car looks great in black as well. Really, the tail lights in red come out nicely. That's it. No video. Okay. Yeah, really early 2000s Benz. Here with the top down, man, you're a king if you drive this car. 5-liter V8, you hear that grumble, or that rumble, I should say. Yeah. And this is a nice present for yourself when you turn 50, you know? Just to make it official that you have a midlife crisis. But who cares? You're driving the SL500. You know, nothing can touch you. You're unstoppable, you know? That kind of stuff. 120k driven. It's alright. Wow. Okay. Look at how dirty this shit is. Is it because you need to start the engine and you have dirty hands from eating, what's that stuff called again? That expensive stuff from Russia. The fish eggs, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm just saying. This looks gross. But again, you know, these kind of little parts can be changed just, you know, to give the car not this kind of dodgy image, right? But it's weird. And this looks, it's just a weird picture. I'm just being so triggered today, aren't I? Brabant, oh my god. Probably some guy that makes ecstasy or something. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Nice guy. Nice car. Let me take a sip. I'm talking a lot today. 2002, huh? Okay. Why would you drive so little with such a car? I would expect at least 200,000 kilometers on it, right? Okay, the 5-liter. Let's go to the specs. 5-speed automatic. All right. What else is important? Seems like original Dutch car. That is good. 80 liters of tank, 5-liter V8 putting out 306 horsepower, non-turbo. Oh, it's an 8-cylinder. It's an 8-cylinder, yes. Yeah, it is an SL500, huh? I think this is a continuation of the old SL engine. Too bad they don't show the engine bay, but yeah, you can Google it. You can even see what kind of what the internal code was for this car. But this is also when the E-Class came out that I like a lot. Yeah, I'll just show you one more SL, then we move on to another car. These are all desirable Benzes that that I would think of when I would go searching for a car from this brand. So let's see. Mm-hmm. Ooh, this looking nice as well. Just on the surface, right? Could be a third, but it looks great. Let's check. Nice rims, nice color, gray, silver-ish. It's always good for a Benz. Black also, white, could be, red, pink. Yeah. Moving on. All right. What's this? Could be fog or something. A V8 with a compressor. Yeah. Man, you're in heaven. SL 500. Look at that. Still, to this day, it's timeless. Not sure if it will become a classic, but it is definitely from a time that's so much different than today. You know, with all these batteries on wheels and people talk about CO2 and whatever. Back then, you know, if you had money, just you blew it on the car. And maybe this is your wife's car, yourself, you just have an S Class. Maybe you have yourself an S55 AMG, who knows? And you give this to your wife, you know, because, man, if you have too much money, you have to carry it around all the time. You might as well just give it to the Mercedes-Benz dealer, right? You know, these times, they were just simpler back then. Moving on. Hardtop. Hardtop was always a big plus in my book, definitely. Soft top, yeah, maybe less mechanical parts. I also heard horror stories that these things break on you almost every summer. Every time that the sun comes on, you want to take off the roof, and then it breaks on you. It jams, and these parts are expensive, and yeah. But anyway, let's forget about that. Just put reality just somewhere there that you're not gonna see it, and we're just gonna look at this car for what it is. Checking my monitor. Oh yeah, we're still in the game. All right, moving on. I love it. To some people, a little bit vulgar, but yeah, it's nice. I think it's nice. I like wood and leather. It's just nice. Yeah. Even these cars are full of technology. I don't know what Pulse is, if that's a massage chair or anything. I have no idea, but I can look it up later. A lot of things are electronical. So you have the stop shifter here on the gear lever. This is automatic car. ABC is automatic body control, I believe, for the shocks. So this is probably an air ride car. Beautiful technology, but when it breaks, you're crying because it's very expensive to fix or replace. So I would always opt for traditional springs. Then you also have the choice to go for springs that are more on the comfortable side or springs that are more on the sporty side of things. But let's face it, these are cruisers. I mean, I'm sure when you just floor it on the autobahn, within no time you're driving 250, no problem. But again, it's a convertible. You're gonna hear road winds because it's not constructed like a solid. Because you have movable parts, I should say. You know, so you will hear additional road noise, I'm sure. You see, this looks better than the other one. They should have cleaned it or just replaced this or something before they made the picture. It just gives a greasy and shady and dodgy look, you know, it just does. All right, I think we saw enough. Nice car. 14K, 204,000 kilometers driven. Yeah, it is believable somehow. Somehow. Yes. Anything I can show you? Any volledige omschrijving? All right, here we go. So 8-cylinder, 5-speed automatic, rear-wheel drive, 0 to 60, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, 6.3 seconds, top speed 250, electronically limited, average fuel consumption you don't want to see, but that's not what you bought the car for. Anything else? Anything special? All the options you have: ABC, air conditioning, cruise control, rain sensor, parking sensor, xenon headlights. Yeah, nice, nice. Okay, this is the last SL we're gonna review. You know, you just do your own calculation and interpretation of what you think is important. CLK, based on the I think it's based on the C-Class platform, right? So a two-seater, then that's enough space. But the SL is just higher in the hierarchy of Mercedes. It's just higher. All right, moving on. So we covered the CLK, we covered the SL, and you also have the SLK, which is the K stands for coupes, which is short. So you have a shorter wheel-based version. Not too long, guys, because we've been covering these Mercedes sports cars for the last, I don't know how long we're already making this. I don't see that on the screen either. Again, I have all the time in the world. 2000, still 15k. That's probably because it's original and it didn't drive a lot of kilometers. So this is basically the smallest sports car you can buy for Mercedes-Benz. Always had love for these earlier models. Let's see if we can find a good picture. Just the 320, right? Yeah, also these are getting old. I think this was 2000. Yeah, guys, it's almost 22 years old. Doesn't need to mean that it's wrong, but 15k is quite a lot. It is a 6-cylinder though, a 3.2 6-cylinder, pushing out 218 horsepower. That's quite a lot for such a small car, so that's good. Rear-wheel drive, automatic gearbox, probably a 5-speed. Let's see if I can have more to show you. Okay, this is the engine. These are better pictures. Here it is a klassieker van de toekomst, which is a classic car of the future. Yeah, I think SL has that potential more than this kind of thing. But to each his own. CLK 320, 6-in-line V6. I'm not sure, but it has 6 cylinders, which is always good. Yeah, looking nice. Looking nice. Didn't drive a lot in 22 years. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? It really depends. It really depends. If it still was serviced every year and it can be explained, then it wouldn't be a big problem. I mean, 22 years in, if it's been standing in a garage or it's been standing outside, it really makes a lot of difference. It really does. So it depends on how the rubbers look like, and you just do an inspection. And if you're not technical enough to do that, ask an independent mechanic to go with you. Pay him, I don't know, a couple of fasos, just pay him. Be nice to the guy because he gonna save you a lot of money. He will. He can either find certain points that need to be done so you can use that in the negotiations, or he can show you that it's just really a third and you should walk away. And either way, you're going to spend money. But what I'm trying to get at is, if you don't know this, if you don't know anything about the technique, or you didn't do your research because you don't have time, or you just don't care, ask an expert and pay him. Let him go along with you. But it's also the points that I'm pointing out, like the ladder, the worn down steering wheel, the gear knobs, these kind of things. That's why you watch my videos. All right, moving on. 15k for an SLK. See, this is 2004, the newer generation. Like this a bit better, but never a really great fan of the SLK. Hope this will load. Just a second, will it load? Something wrong with the internet? No, Nothing is wrong. Looks like the car has been sold already. Good for you. Moving on. I don't know what gotten into me today. You know, just something. But we're gonna make this a funny video, right? Last one. SLK 2006, right? So this is already newer, and design-wise, I think this is a bit better looking. Although I'm never being a really big fan of the SLK. It's nice if you have a 55 AMG or something, because then it's ridiculous. But yeah, it just doesn't really do it for me somehow. But I have to point it out. This is the smallest car, the smallest sports car from Mercedes that you can buy, and I'm sure it's still a lot of fun to drive, because they also have ridiculous engines for these small cars. Wow. This is aftermarket, but yeah, if it works, right? 2006 is a long time ago. Okay. You see the red leather, what I talked about earlier. Some cars, it just doesn't matter. Audi has a couple of cars, the A4, the A6, they have red leather. It really depends. But for the SLK in this case, I think it works. 150,000 kilometers driven is not a whole lot. Here you have the chassis number, the VIN. This looks like quite an old engine. I will check the 200k compressor. I think it is actually a 4-cylinder with a compressor, which is okay, but I have to, let's check later the power output of this thing. What's happening? Going back. Engine bay and engine looking clean. It has been cleaned, or it is just clean. Transmission, liquids, oil replaced at. Looks like it's been looked after. Oh, and it is a roadster, of course. Classic keys from that era. They have the service history here. Now it's all looking great. 2006, 10k. Not bad, but 1.8. It is a manual. That could be fun, but I think it's lacking in speed a little bit. Curious what they push out of 1.8, but let's figure out together. All right. Euro 4, 1.8, 4-cylinder, 163 horsepower. All right. Do we see something with weight? Yeah, almost 1300 kilos. And it is a 4-cylinder, like I predicted. Yeah, does that matter? I think 163 horsepower is not enough for that sporty feeling, but it is good for the fuel consumption. I'm sure it can still reach 200 kilometers an hour. Let's find that out, if that's been specified here. No, they don't. Or I'm getting blind. Just check real quick. No, they don't specify it. You're able to drive 200 kilometers, but is it needed? No. Can you cruise at 150? I'm sure you can. It is a manual though, 6-speed. And it is a roadster, and it looks quite good, actually. It looks like it ticks all the boxes that I would, check a car for, and also all the documentation here, and they make it close to 60 pictures here to show you how good of a car it is. I mean, Maskant. All right. Oh, no, I didn't ask for this, but you get my point. We are gonna check one more car before we move on. Just a second. Probably not gonna find the AMG in here. Special edition, what's special about it? The price? No. Anything with AMG, that would be great. 14, that's a lot of money. 2 years younger. Not a lot of kilometers on it, but also a 200 compressor, which was the 1.8 with a compressor out of my head. Anything special? Final edition. So this is the final edition of the first generation. Talking about reliability, proven technology. Could also be something to look for, right? Anything more that I can show here? A V6, which they claim has 272 horsepower in this small configuration. Explain that to me. Let me see what kind of engine it has. Don't tell me this one is sold to. Excuse me. No, we here. 2004. A 350 V6. So 3.5 liters V6. Now let's first look at the pictures. Double tailpipes. Classic bands. Black. Alright, it is of course here with a hardtop, which is good, which is a plus. Looks like a nice car. Nice sound system. So yeah, I mean, this is a nice cruiser. Although, yeah, not to be degrading to any woman that are listening to this show, but this is a band for a woman. You know, it is. It is like what you buy yourself if you're successful, or what you give to the missus. You know, I'm not gonna make any sexist joke. Not today. But something you give to your wife, right? But again, I want to see some specifications of this engine. 120,000 kilometers driven. A 7-speed automatic. 7-speed. 2004? Could be. That's quite nice. Then the consumption will be okay. But let's talk about the engine. So 3.5 liters, 6-cylinder. Apparently 272 horsepower. And the car weighs, yeah, this will be a small rocket. This will be a small rocket. I mean, close to 300 horsepower in a car like this. It will be fun, man, when it's summer. And yeah, that's why it's 15K. The kilometers is okay. When all this stuff matches out, the plate matches. I know for the SLK you had a 55 AMG, but maybe the 350, and I'm not sure. Again, I think the SLK 350, I don't think there was a 400 or a 450. I think the 350 was the strongest non-AMG SLK you could buy. So, right. This is it, guys. These were the sports cars. Now we're just gonna go real quickly over the C-Class, the E-Class and the S-Class, because we cover this in multiple videos on this channel. We did a separate live stream on the C-Class, on the E-Class, and the S-Class. So, you know, when you want to go more into depth about those kind of individual cars, I suggest you look up older live streams, because then we really have a dedication for every car. But this is just an overview, right? So, C-Class, just real quick, what comes to mind. Okay, it has to be a petrol powered unit. I don't want a diesel. You could buy a diesel. Yeah, just okay. We covered the C-Class enough, so I shouldn't make that distinction. But it's very simple, especially when you live in Europe. When you do lots of miles, go for diesel. Diesel and Mercedes is a perfect marriage. They, they might be a little bit loud, but they are reliable. They are reliable, and they are known for the capability to reach high mileages, especially when you treat them right. When you sometimes blast on the highway to make sure that the contamination in the engine, it disappears. So myself, because the Germans have the autobahn and sometimes they have the opportunity to blast to 200 kilometers an hour with a warm engine, I would import a diesel, but only with good service history, basically. And it doesn't matter if you buy a young diesel with lots of kilometers, because then this car has been driving all the way around on the highway mostly, and that's good. That's what these engines are built for. But I now selected petrol, but I will just put it back. So we have just an overview of cars with what can buy you 15k. The C-Class is this typical car that if you do lots of miles and you want a little bit more leg room, and you don't want a sport car, you just want a sedan, and you have to bring a few passengers on board from time to time, this is perfect. I like the W203 model myself, but these are getting old now. Also not the best in terms of build quality was okay, but the paint job, and also not the most reliable cars. The W204, the one that came after that, this one, let's just open this one, 2012. This is a 204 W204 model, more reliable. Of course, there's still some issues here and there, especially on the higher mileage cars. Mercedes is reliable as long as you just make sure that the maintenance is done correctly, and then it can last a whole long time. 2012 plates match. I don't want to hedge. Basic C-Class. It's a business class, automatic. I mean, it can serve you. It can serve you good. It's just a small executive car here in Europe, right? I mean, you see the space. If you have small children, it's fine. But adults don't want to sit there for hours. Then you should go for an E-Class. That's why there are cabs, taxis here. Okay, nothing special, guys. Nothing special. And this is going to be a quick overview of what I find. Just something that caught my eye. Here, this is a 220 CDI. So this is a diesel with not a lot of kilometers, which is not necessarily a good sign. But on the surface, it looks good. Wow, 96. The W203 model, more than 7k, but this is the C280, so the 2.8 inline 6 or the V6 sedan, classic car, probably maintained really well, also from a different time. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest to go for a car like that necessarily. First of all, you need to like those kind of cars. Also, this one has driven 200,000 kilometers. It's from 96. It's old. It's potential trouble, right? It is. But if you want the nicest W203, then this one looks pretty awesome. Still there? Yeah, still there. This is old, guys. This is old. But the 280 was one of the top engine choices. But it's old. It's old. 96. Starting from, when were they first? 93, I think. They run from 93 to 2000. And yeah. And before that, 92, there was still the 190. Which I did a POV video on. Not the best sound quality, but you get an impression. Guys, we've been doing this for quite a while, so I document a lot about Mercedes-Benz. So, again, if you want to go more into depth, there's a video for you out there. Moving on. 2009 in the state. What's this? This is a 3-liter. I think there's a 6-cylinder. Yeah, it's not bad. 14k. A reasonably new Merc. Looking nice. Yeah, this is reasonably new. This is 2009, the 280, so it has the V6. You can tell by the double tailpipes. I like this front. I like it. Double tailpipes again. Avant-garde. I don't know if that's the most luxury in that you have avant-garde. Yeah, and a few more trim levels. It just doesn't come to mind now. Automatic gearbox, of course. Let's real quickly go to the specs. 7-speed, 3-liter 6-cylinder, 232 horsepower. That's plenty. That's just nice. And this is a small estate. Still looking good. Model year 2009, built in January. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. You can sit in here with 2 adults, 2 children, or 2 smaller adults, and still have enough luggage for your weekend to the Alps. Nice car. I said enough about C-Class. Again, we did many buyer's reviews. We did a separate live stream about the C-Class, so I will not go in there any longer. We are going to move on to the E-Class. Again, if you like the C-Class but you don't think it's enough space, especially on the back where also bigger adults have to sit, then look for the E-Class. Did I do it right? 15K, yes. Now here we have one of 2009, but I will not go in this one directly. Also, we reviewed all the E-classes starting from the W123, 124, sorry, the first E-class, all the way up to the most recent released E-class. It's all been documented. It's all been covered on this channel. Also, we did a separate live stream on the E-class. You're interested in this car? That's great. It's all been documented already on this channel. But this is about what I would buy for 15K, right? What would I buy? CDI. This is looking good. I always liked the station. Anything else? The 280. Do we have something real unique? There's also gasoline. CDI, all diesels, of course. These cars are built for long motorway journeys. This is unique. But here comes my love again for the older Mercs. So I'm not gonna cover a lot, guys. This is I've been doing it too much. I really don't want to repeat myself too much. Okay, this nice best deal. Okay, do I get that guy also? I hope not. Strange rims. Strange. Again, a hitch. That's how you call it, right? Hitch. But this is a 280 Elegance. Yeah, that's probably the top spec level or something. Looking all right for 8K. Not bad. Not bad. 150,000 kilometers isn't a whole lot. See, more space in the back. Yeah. Here, even a third row for the naughty kid or your dog or whatever, or your wife or your boyfriend, or a couple of dead mobsters, who knows, whatever you want a car like this for, whatever you need your space for. It's all possible, basically. Here, with this folded down, you really can buy a lot of beer in Germany and drive back in great comfort. I mean, it's great. It's fantastic. All right, let's just go to the spec. Now I want to see the engine. This looks like a V6 to me, and it is. Wow, I'm great. The 280. Now let's show me some specs then. All right, the 7-seater. Yeah, okay. I'm really talking about some specs. Technical, okay. 3-liter V6, 232 horsepower, top speed close to 240. Yeah, what more you need? 8K. I think it's even a little bit cheap. Can I still go back? No. What year is this? 2006. All right. Yeah. Okay. 150 driven. Yeah. I think it's a good deal somehow. I do. Nice power output. V6. Not a lot of kilometers if it's correct. 8K. Looking okay on the surface. It really does. Okay, now we go to something a little bit funny. We have this car. There we go again, right? This is the W124. Also with a hitch. I mean, looking okay. Yeah, this is 80s. This is the 80s, guys. But this is from 94, so this is a late model. They run until 95. Green would not really be the choice of color for me, but somehow it can have it. This does look a little bit shabby, right? Is this leather or velour? I don't know what it is. It already had the new steering wheel that, and in 94, the Cathedral, the W140 S-Class already came to the market, was already there for 3 years then. And I think this steering wheel debuted on that car. So the later models had this kind of steering wheel. Yeah, this is, I mean, more German than this. It just doesn't get. You know, it's a straightforward car here in Europe, in Germany, in the Holland, in Belgium. They all been used as a taxi cab. The diesels were notoriously reliable. Running costs were low. Automatic gearbox, like everything was built for life. There was just a certain philosophy of the brand at the time. And I consider myself a technical person, and I consider myself having passion for technical products. And I respect it when engineers push themselves to the max to deliver quality, a quality item. I have major respect for that because that means that you do a good job. That is your job. What I don't respect is when accountants come in there and they say, we don't earn enough. I get it. I totally get it. I get the mindset, but I respect the fact that back then it wasn't like that. It was just, what kind of car can I give you that just will put us on the map? And yes, this looks a little bit funky. It does. But look at it still. And after that, I just wipe the drool from my mouth because it's getting ridiculous. But yeah, I got major love for these cars. Not only because they're super reliable and they labeled maybe one of the best cars in the world to ever be built. Well, especially coming out of Europe anyway. But I got mad respect for this. Not only the looks, but also the engineering part. And yeah, if I had the money, if I had the place, I would go for an E500. An E500 with the legendary 5-liter V8 in this car. Yeah, but it's ridiculous what they do nowadays. Yeah, I don't need to show you. I probably already showed you in earlier videos. Also, the W124 was covered in earlier live streams and also in a dedicated video about them. So, anything else? Otherwise, we just move on, guys. 4-cylinder. Here, this is the 90s E-Class. This is the early 2000s E-Class. Nah, nothing really special. A 3.2 4MATIC. So 4-wheel drive. Why does it have 4MATIC? Then it can probably put some big power down. Again, 2004. We had different license plate than this one, so this is imported. That's already a red flag. The rest is looking good. It's a 320, the 4MATIC. This might even be imported from the United States. This could be. Why? Yeah, why? And this is for sale in Holland? I think so. Why would? Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, very far up north, but it doesn't matter. Why would you import a Mercedes from the United States when you just have Germany as your neighbors, basically? But anyway, they have some different design cues and everything. Let's go to the specs. I want to see what it has. It has the kind of old school 5-speed auto, but probably the most robust powertrain to handle this power. I'm really curious what kind of power it has because it also has 4MATIC. Why would you put that on a car? It puts down 225 horses. Not bad. From a 3.2 6-cylinder engine with 4MATIC. So if you go drive to the snow, yeah, we all know the YouTube videos where the Audi Quattro beats everything, but still, it does have 4MATIC all-wheel drive. It's always a safe option if you live in a country where it rains a lot and where it snows once a year. Guys, that's all for the E-Class. I'm moving on. Now, the S-Class. And right off the bat, I'm just going to tell you, 15K for an S-Class is probably not enough. Either you buy yourself really a classic, here 83, build quality was also sublime back then, but again, I'm turning 37 very soon. This is even way older than me. This car is close to be 40 years old, you know? Is that a bad thing? Don't need to be, but 40 years is a long time, even for a house, you know? An S500 with an AMG package, 2006. Man, show me what you got. This looks like the local drug czar came to visit. But still, there's something appealing to that, isn't it? Check it out. This is supposedly an S500, license plate will check, 2006. This is how it looked like. This is also all the display. Don't necessarily need to brake, but it's getting old. 250,000 kilometers driven. That seems reasonable to me, but because why would you buy an S-Class to keep it at the driveway? But also, guys, I will go over this. There is the Cathedral, 12K. The 300 SE in perfect condition. Okay, hurry. Maybe it's already sold. I hope not. Here we are. This is the Cathedral, the biggest S-Class ever. Mercedes-Benz threw a lot of R&D, research and development in this car. Never really paid off. But I heard recently, I'm not sure where that was, that the basis of this car was also still used for the Maybach at certain time. The Maybach came in 2004 on the market, if I believe so. And the basis, the chassis, and a whole lot of components of this model, the W140. We like to get geeky up here, right? Yes. Was still used in the Maybach. So Mercedes tried to spread out that research and development over multiple models, which is, I think, a good move. At the launch in 91, this was the most sophisticated car ever. It had double glazing, it had everything. I think the president of Germany rode in one back in the time. They call it the Cathedral, the Cathedral, just of its enormous size. Built for life, phenomenal build quality. Don't know about reliability. I mean, come on, these cars are old. This model is from 93, I see. But it does look spotless for 12K. I mean, in Holland, it's not a good choice because you go nuts every time you go to the gas station. You maybe have to put down 150 euro or more just to fill up the beast. And I'm sure it's thirsty. And when you drive lots of miles inside the city, you go nuts even more. Moving on. A Brabus. Is this original? Okay, let's do this. Imported. Okay, I want to see how it looks like from the inside. Start, stop. Is this modified? What is this? Okay, we go back. Yes, okay, 2002, 160,000 kilometers driven. It is a Brabus S-Class Mercedes-Benz, 306 horsepower, coming from a V8, I guess. I hope they have more info down here somehow. Doesn't look like it. Accessories. This is it. This is all the information you're giving me. What kind of engine is in here? Look at all the options. Maybe there's... Okay, these are all the options, but... Okay, when something like this happens, you just, just that what I did earlier on that car website with that license plate tool, you check based on this license plate to get more information on the engine. I suspect this be kind of a supercharged V8, but I wasn't aware of a Brabus version of this S-Class. Could be maybe a custom job. I don't know. Moving on. Let's see what else we got. Oh, yeah, all right. So, Hey, an S600 long wheelbase V12. YOLO. You gotta do it. You gotta do it, man. Before we all drive electric cars, This is just like a statement on wheels. Somebody gotta do it. Somebody gotta have the balls to do it. Please load. Please. Do I need to do it again? Here we are. We connected. All right. Long wheelbase V12. Now, this is the perfect car to show up at your work, preferably your first job, right? When your boss drives a Prius and you just drive to work in a long wheelbase S600, because you have big ambitions, you want to take over the company. That's the kind of attitude that you have, and that kind of attitude deserves a certain car. I mean, this car is just big enough for your ego. Just. You gotta learn how to live with it, right? So you pull up next to your boss, and when you get out of the car, your driver hands you a cigar, lights it for you, and then you start a chat with some of the peasants around there, talking about the environment, talking about your investments, and after that you put on your custodian suit and you mop up the floor, right? I mean, that would be a day in the life for me. Sorry, I got carried away a little bit. Let's just move on. Let's just move on. CBS, the statistical farmer, boer, here in the Netherlands. Kerkrade. Now, this is from the south. Look at this. Show me. I like it, man. This is just a statement on wheels at this point, isn't it? Looks like a great paint job. Okay, I don't know if this is real, but import plates. On the surface, it looks great, man. It really looks great. This is just something, right? 2000, man. This was the biggest and baddest you could buy in 2000 Mercedes-Benz. Jesus. Yes, it's dated, guys. It's 22 years old, but remember, back in the days, you had the phone, this was a little small TV, LCD, I think. Yeah, back then that was the stuff. It's not even that long ago, but these cars are so dated, but it's still the arrogance of that time. You know, just put a V12 in there. BMW is doing it, and we started this stuff. Look at how much leg space you have here. You can fall asleep. Maybe you can even recline this chair. I mean, the classic dials. This is how it started, and after that, like the generation that came after this, out of my head, this is W220 generation. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm correct. Also, we made a video about this one in depth. Go check it out. And after this, they changed to the digital screens here. V12 badge. You gotta love it, man. Just 12 cylinders waiting there for you. Here, you can, maybe this still works, Plaatskaart means place your SIM card. How balling is this? I mean, we all have smartphones nowadays, and I mean, it can make you pancakes. I mean, it can rub your back. It can do a lot of things. There's an app for everything. Great, but how balling is this? Just call your street pharmacist and call the hotel to make sure that you want the towels just exactly at the 38.4 degrees, because that's the way you like it. And make sure there's a champagne ball there from a while waiting for you, because otherwise you're going to be enraged. And you all do that from that telephone on the back, in the back of your V12. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know what's in the water tonight, but looks like they've been doing some maintenance on this. I don't know why you should show this, but maybe it's been a project car for somebody in the south, and now he wants to sell it. Who knows? I'm sure this car has a story. I'm sure it has a story. This looks like the south of France or somebody in southern Europe. I'm sure this car has a story. And again, nobody bought a V12 in Holland. We're never been like that, even when you had serious money. Okay, when you really have serious money and you think you have class, you buy yourself a Rolls Royce or something like that, but not a vulgar Mercedes with a V12. Ooh, no, they bought that stuff in Germany, in France, Italy. Kind of different culture. So I'm sure this car has a story because it ended up in Holland again. Nice pictures. Yeah, this makes me laugh. It's just great. Let's see if I can go back. Yes. Now I'll close this. Then I go to the advertisement and get more to know. So this is this is a 5.8, almost 6 liter V12. All right. They don't know about its consumption figures. I would say the same. Don't know. It really depends. It really depends. But I'm sure it's gonna go hard. Okay, 250,000 kilometers driven. 2000, 5-speed automatic. Yes. Okay. It's definitely an import. The first time it entered Holland was early February in 2015. So it's been in Holland for 7 years then. Close to 7 years. But, that's 2015. Where are the other 15 years? But I'm sure this car has a hell of a story. Yes, I really think so. I'm gonna go later to what it. Okay, so 12 cylinder, almost 370 horsepower. And what they ask for it again? 11K, huh? Yeah. Who would buy such a thing? I mean, V12s are quite reliable because they have so much. Yeah, how should I say this? A V12 is around for a long time. Mercedes and BMW, they invested lots of R&D in cars with a V12. And they have a lot of torque, have a lot of power, but you see 12 cylinders, only pushing out 380 horsepower. That means that this V12 is also not being pushed. You probably hardly reach 2000 RPM, right? So these cars and these engines are not being stressed. That's a good thing. So on the longevity level, I think they can serve you quite well. But if something breaks, the car is totaled. It's totaled, right? What you're gonna invest in that car is gonna be worth more than what the whole car is worth at that point. So that's where it becomes like a hobby object. You know, that not a whole lot of people do that, only enthusiasts. But again, who would buy a car like this in 22 years after this car was built? Again, these cars are from a different era. Enough S-Class, enough E-Class, enough C-Class. One more thing. A car that never really sold well here in Europe. You had a couple in Germany, but I believe this car is more for the United States and China, I believe, the R-Class. You even have a R63 AMG. But this car, hey man, it's my lucky day, right? I'm not sure if this is the AMG, looks like it, but I don't think this is the 63. Yes, we're there. So 4MATIC V8 R-Class, hideous car. Just had to be said. The front is hideous, like somebody hit it with a hammer or something, or with a baseball bat. But the back, I do like. This is like from a time that we're just on the verge to become all SUV addicted somehow. I hate these websites like this. Now we're gonna do it like this. Yeah, this is the back. It's already better, but it's not a looker. It's not a beauty. Not at all. Does have some AMG rims. It's the 500, so it's not like the entry level R. No, it's the 500. I think after this comes the 63 AMG. Early 2000s dash. My dad owns a B class. It's like the same kind of dashboard layout. And this is basically a blown up B class, which I will show you later. We're only gonna cover one car, the Dutch flag. So it's in Holland. Let's see. Yeah. Early 2000s navigation. Back then this was the shit. A 500. I want to know the specs on that engine. Probably 300-ish horsepower. But let's go and see why you should buy a car like this. See a third row. So the first two seats. So this can be a 7-seater. And if you don't want a big SUV like an ML or something like that, we can still cover. I need to make a note. Yes. Now, we're going to cover that later. So that's why we're not going to stand still by this R-Class too long. All right, so the R-Class. Yeah, we're going to go to the specs. Almost lost my voice. I never talk so long. Normally I'm the quiet one who's listening, right? Come on, guys. Is this working? Please do. We already gonna go back otherwise. Or we're gonna try one more time. Because I want to know more about the car. We did not lose the internet, no. No. Alright, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Let's see if we can just refresh this page. Come on, guys. View. I'm gonna close these two. No. I'm gonna do it differently. I have to see this. Or they just maybe took it offline just now. No, they didn't. Okay, good. Sorry for the inconvenience, guys. It happens. This is a live show. Specifications: 180,000 kilometers driven. Maximum capacity, they say 6, but I'm sure you can put 7 people in the car, maybe even 8. Just stack them on top of each other, right? 8-cylinder. Don't know how much displacement yet, but it says 306 horsepower. I said 300-ish, right? Here. Yeah, I'm getting blind. 5-liter V8. Old Mercedes-Benz recipe. This could be an option. Could be. If you need that kind of space, right? If you need to carry things, large objects, and you want to sit in great comfort, and you don't want a van, you can also buy it. Then you buy a diesel, a 280 or something like this, still 10K. Let's just go in there a little bit, just to give you an overview. Hopefully it works. Yes, good. 2010. That's 11 years old. Reasonable, right? Let's go over the... so this is a diesel, 7-speed automatic, 6-cylinder, 190 horsepower, and it has a turbocharger. 6-cylinder, 3-liter, 6-cylinder with a turbo diesel. I think, and this is an assumption, that these kind of engines are bulletproof. 3 liters, 6 cylinders with a turbo and a diesel. So it's really constructed for heavy duty, long motorway journeys. Nah, looking okay. 10K. Yeah, it's probably been towing stuff in its life, so never a big fan of that, but probably a very torquey engine. It still looks hideous, but I'm just saying, what can you buy for this kind of price? And if you need to do lots of miles, you need to transport lots of stuff, and you don't want a van. Anyway, we move on. This was the R-Class. If you do want an SUV, then we have the ML. Right? We have the ML. M-Class. Also, we go over real quickly. I think this video is going to become pretty long. Maybe even boring. I hope not, but... you know, maybe getting bored of me. I understand. We're almost there. 350 CDI, 2010, 15K. Bam. There you go. I like this one way better than the first generation ML. Yeah, first generation had some design cues I like because, again, I like older Benzes. But if I have to choose between the two, then definitely this one. It's more modern and it's more luxurious. It has more options and it's just more Benz to me. The first generation always looked like an attempt. And sorry for the guys out there in Germany, but it looked like an attempt just for Mercedes to see if people would buy a terrain car with a star on the hood, right? But as the years progressed and the whole car industry noticed that SUVs were getting very popular, and especially these sports activity vehicles, then Mercedes also decided to join in and did it in a nice way. I mean, it's always a matter of taste, always, but this could be an option for 10K. This is also a 3.5-liter diesel, so depending on how much you are driving or something that you have to tow, again, not for nothing, then this could be an option. I like this. This still looks representable, still doesn't look that old. 2010, 11 years old, for 10K. Not that bad. But it does drive a lot. But for diesel, it's still okay-ish. more than 250,000 kilometers driven in 10 years. Does pack a good punch, more than 230 horsepower, 7-speed, also the 3-liter diesel, 95 liter in the tank. I'm sure you can drive quite some miles on one tank. It uses like for every 100 kilometers it uses almost 11 liters of diesel. So yeah, it's not super economical. Here we have a M500, which I will not go into, also 15k, 2005, a whole lot, 5 years older. This is the M class, right? Did a video about that, didn't do a live stream about it, because I just know that these cars are not very popular under the viewers. It's just not. But just know that there's an ML class, an M class, and when you want to go for the luxury class, you have the GLK, I think, or the GL, one of the two. No, not this one. Because the K is the short one, we have just the GL. I hope that is also here available. Yeah, here, but only 10. Nobody buys such a big SUV here in the Netherlands. Let me show you like a reasonable one. 2007. It's a big diesel. I think the 420 CDI. I think this is the biggest diesel you can buy. Racked up a lot of miles, more than 400,000 kilometers in all these years. But hey, at least it's been driven, right? So this is a biggie, guys. This is a biggie. Popular in the United States and in China, not so much in the European Union. It just has to do with our road network. It has to do with the distances we travel. If we have to transport 7 or 8 people, we have like a Sprinter van or something like that. We don't want to drive ourselves. But in America, the bigger, the better, the more luxury. The bigger the car, the more luxury the car is, apparently. But that's not the way Europeans think. But there's a reason that these cars are being made, because there are buyers for these type of cars. And this is like a full-size SUV from Mercedes. The biggest, baddest you can buy. You even have this in the AMG trim. You even have this modified by Brabus as well. You get ridiculous, like a container on wheels that can reach 250 kilometers an hour, and it's ridiculous, but it's possible, and it is funny in a way. And yeah, this is get out of the way, poor people, right? This is that's what that says. If you're going for that look, that's okay. I understand. I'm not rich, I'm not poor, but I just get that feeling when you have that kind of money that you buy it. Yeah. And also, I don't know where I'm going with this, so I'm just gonna continue. Let's see. Come on. Why always do this to me? Huh? I've been so good to you. Come on. There's almost no scratches. License plate checks out. Okay, maybe this is better. Look at this. Look at this, guys. This is huge. All blacked out. It does look gangster FBI type stuff. Not that they're the same, but you catch my drift. Yeah, guys, moving on. This is also a pimped out version. Anything special? Here's more normal one in gray. 450, which is probably also V8, but this is a petrol one, so this is not a diesel. I didn't even check up the specs of the other one. I will do that. First, check out this specs. So an 8-cylinder, 4.7 8-cylinder. All right, and that's producing 340 horsepower. So 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 in 7.2 seconds for a car like this. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's unnecessary, but it's nice that it's physically possible. Let's go to the biggest diesel again because I didn't check the specs. I got carried away. Where are we? That was the one with the, yes, this one. Hopefully this still works. I really want to check the specs. I really do. Thanks. Specifications. Alright. 7-speed automatic. I don't know if I already checked the specs. 4-liter V8, 306 horsepower. Alright. So you see the petrol is actually the one to get, and when you want this in an AMG trim, it's possible. For the European viewers, if you want a car that has the badge, is reliable, is affordable, but and doesn't really stand out too much, then I would go for the B class. Not the A class, maybe the newer A class, not the older, but the B class can also be an option. Let's see if we have like a turbo or something. Ambition, blue efficiency, B200, 2013, guys. It's not a whole long time ago. 11k, driven 180, but let's see if I find something more catchy. The business one, this is the older generation. The other one was the new 200 Ambition, 2013. This looks fun, but this is just under budget. The 200 is probably the, like, engine wise, the highest level that you can go. I think you have the B160, 180 and 200, and you have a couple of diesels, and this is also petrol. Yes, it's petrol, and it's probably a 2-liter 4-cylinder non-turbo. Yes, 4-cylinder 1.6 Euro 6, so this is quite new. Where is the, okay, yeah, close to 160 horsepower. Okay, now let's check it out just for the sake of this video. Hey, it's a good car. It's a nice car. It will serve you well. It's not bad, but no, it's not sexy. Make up your mind. It's a relatively modern car. It's just a 2-liter 4-cylinder. I mean, it will happily drive 200 kilometers if that's what you're looking for. It will happily carry 4 large adults. Still have enough space for luggage. Yeah, you make up your mind. I think to close off this video, because we covered the CLK, the SL, the SLK, the C class, the E class, the S class, the ML, the GL, the B class, the R class. We have to go out with a bang, right? We have to go out with a bang. It's almost a new year. The CL, guys. This is basically on the... this looks like an SL. Oh no, it's not. It's not. Okay, what I was saying. This is a luxury coupe based on the S class. On the S class. And this is the CL500. So first some specs. 2001, 7k, close to 300,000 kilometers driven, but this is the 500, so it's probably a V8. Specifications: 5-speed automatic, imported during Corona to the Netherlands, and in December 2001 somebody decided to put it on a license plate, so it's an import car. Just keep that in mind. Again, nobody buys these type of cars in Holland. 8-cylinder, yes, 306 horsepower. It's plenty. Let me put it like that for a nice coupe. It's a luxury coupe. Um, yeah, this is basically on the E-Class that was back then. So it is an old car. This is also not necessarily the most beautiful one. There's a facelifted model coming after this one. It's more desirable. Guys, 306 horsepower. I mean, this was the pimp car, in the early 2000s, if you could afford it. Now when I look at it, I don't think it's necessarily beautiful. Not necessarily. I think there are more beautiful cars out there, but I don't think there's a whole lot to pick from them. Here, nicer color, 99, 2000, 2003, 99, 2000. See if we have a little bit later model. This is also an CL500, looking a little bit different. So 3 years younger. Let's see what else we got. Carlson style. Somebody just put their own little sauce over it, I guess. Let's see. 2000, 2001. All right, 2000. Here, this is a CL600. Top of the range in 2000. Let's just show you 2006. All right, this was already the newer style. Maybe we'll cover that one. We'll go to this one first. So CL600, also a V12. A V12 in a two-door coupe. I like that. You will never see that madness again. You will never see it no more. Those days are gone, my friends. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be the bearer of the bad news, but these days are gone. They're just gone. Nice rims. CL600, you gotta love it. It's just fun. Fly by KLM. No, a fly by Mercedes guy. Probably somebody, maybe even from a pilot that flew for the KLM, because these kind of guys have that kind of money. And now he needs to go to work in a Tesla, because company policy says so. So you have to ditch his CL. If he was a real man, he would have kept at it for the Sundays, But I digress. It's been set in quite a lot of times. Here in the back, it looks like almost never nobody sat in there. A little bit wear and tear here and there. What do you expect? Jeez. Probably owns a boat too, This is just the car he drives to his boat with. And now he does to do it in a Tesla. The horror. Yeah. It is a little bit vulgar. And then somebody with dirty sneakers makes a picture. Oh, here's somebody keyed it because they're driving a CL600. Yeah. It happens in the Netherlands. It happens probably everywhere, but it especially happens in the Netherlands when some green hippie finds it necessary to make a statement. So, wow, almost 370 horsepower. These cars are funny, man. They're just funny. And what does he need for it again? I mean, again, when something breaks on this car, it's totaled, but still, he can laugh your ass off for 8.5K. Ridiculous. Oh, okay, this is what it says. Opknapper. Opknapper is Dutch for it needs some love and caring, basically, so, but yeah. Again, these days don't return, and this was the best and the most ridiculous car you could buy in 2000 from Mercedes. When Mercedes was in some ways over the top, especially engineering wise, but it was a this time between 98 and 2005 ish. that Mercedes still had very many beautiful cars on display that can be potential future classics, but you need deep pockets to keep a car like this driving and then keep it in mint condition. Again, if something breaks, it's totaled. That's very clear. A hobby, ja, it can cost money. Een hobby mag geld kosten. Yeah, is it worth it? I don't know that. That's a matter of the heart, not of the brain. The brain would say no from the jump, from the gate. No, it would. That's a waste of money. But the heart can say, hey, I have space, I have a garage, I have time, I have my daily car, and I have this car, and every Sunday I have a couple of hours of time. I'm just gonna, do something. I'm not a mechanical guy. I can do research on the internet, right? And I need to become friends with the mechanic so he can give me a good deal or something. But then this wouldn't be the right car. Parts wise, these are kind of rare because this was not a mass produced car. What was mass produced was the S class, the E class, the C class, which is obvious. But who buys a car like this? A coupe with a V12. I just love the ridiculousness of it, but it doesn't make any sense. Not in 2000 either, This is just showing you that I'm a rich bachelor or I own the company and this is just the type of car I drive to work with. This is just my Sunday car. Whatever. It's fun. It's a middle finger on wheels, and that's why we gotta, that's why I gotta respect it. Anyway, moving on. Nah, this is too vulgar. Even I have my limits, Liefhebber means not chosen one. Liefhebber, somebody that would appreciate it, basically. So please take it off my hand. It's a beautiful car, right? You like this, right? Please take it home, and I give you, I say 10K, but you can bring it home for 7.5. Just do me a favor, do yourself a favor. That kind of stuff. Moving on. Nice car. Yeah, I can see when when you're pimping in 2000 and you just show up like this, that you were the man, But this is imported as well because it's from 2000 and it has different license plate on it. V12. Is this a V12? This is a 600 Carlson. I don't see Carlson anywhere. Why would you treat a car like this? Is it treated? Or didn't Carlson put any logos on the car? I didn't see anything yet. Carlson. I suppose. Anything else? V12. Maybe it's the newer generation V12 because I remember those square V12s that they mounted in the W140 Cathedral, but this could be a newer generation. Could be, I don't know, 2000. Yeah, probably because that would be a continuation of the. That would be a continuation of the older V12s then. Yeah, okay. Close to 370 horsepower for a coupe. Oh man, I'm sure it makes a nice sound. Anyway, guys, this is ridiculous, isn't it? Look at this. This breeds style and elegance and quietness. Gotta respect that. No, it's just funny, man. It's just real fun. Last one I'm gonna review. This is the CL class, but then the 500, so non-AMG or non-V12. This is just a big V8, a 5 liter, for, just under our budget, 170,000 kilometers driven. And this looks like a beauty. This is also, no, this is 2003, so this is a little bit younger. Yes, I think the rear light's a little bit different. The CL 500. Yeah, you gotta love the sleekness of the design. It is just an era defined in a model. And this defines early 2000s as nothing else. It's just early 2000s. Like everything. Based on the S-Class, a coupe. Not many of them were sold. I don't think even many were sold in the US or China, because back then China didn't really import cars or made cars on their inside their borders yet, on a large scale, I should say. And the US, I mean, maybe in LA, maybe in New York, like the bigger cities, but outside of the bigger cities, probably not a lot of people drove them, bought them, maintained them. So 5-liter V8, 306 horsepower. 2003, it's old. It's from a time that Mercedes had some issues with their rust protection. 170,000 kilometers driven. It is an import. Keep that in mind. So you might lose some of the service history. And just under budget at 15K. These are my suggestions for your first Benz. And of course, to recap, if you want a daily driver, right, you go for a C-Class. Is a C-Class not big enough, you go for an E-Class. And if you can afford it, you go for an S-Class, because that's just the best that the Benz have. Very distinguishable. If you want a sports car, you can go for a CLK, which is middle of the road, an SLK, which is the smallest one, and the SL is like the most luxurious one. We just looked at the CL, which is, it's not a sports car, but it's more of a grand tour, right? Lots of power, lots of gadgets, great seats, all that kind of stuff. You go for CL. If you want an SUV or terrain car, put them in the same category. You go for an ML, or you go for a GL. Right? Then, if you don't want to go for an ML or a GL, you can go for an R-Class, right? You have an R-Class, what I showed you. If that's too big for you, you go for B-Class, right? Yeah, I think that's it. One more thing I want to show you guys before I really sign off is my own website. It's nothing big. Let me just check the screen if, yes, we're still on. First of all, I really want to thank all of you guys for sticking with me throughout all the years. My channel is improving over time, I hope. This is a hobby of mine. I can't do this full time. I have a full-time job. Next to that, I have quite a busy life, but I like making videos. I like making content. That's why I started this channel many years ago. And 4 years ago, I started making car reviews, buying reviews, because cars are in my DNA. I like to talk about them, and I like to share my knowledge with the world. So thanks for sticking out. I really appreciate it. I like the comments. I like the views. Again, what I always say, my videos are not technically superior or whatever, but it's about the content. It's about the knowledge. And that's something that I stand for. And, you can debate me on certain things doesn't matter. That's what YouTube and the internet is for, right? So that's that. And I want to thank all the subscribers this year. We reached 10K in subscribers, which is, there are many big channels, but if when you start with one subscriber and all of a sudden, it took me a couple of years, but all of a sudden you have 10K subscribers, that's nice. It's just nice. And I know I'm potentially streaming this now to almost close to 11K in viewers. So that's it's just funny, man. You know somebody's gonna watch it, so that's why I do it. Last thing I want to say, I write all my own content. I write it down before I use this mic to record it. And because I write it down anyway, it's already digital. I thought, yeah, why not just put it on my website, right? Write an article. And this is the text. And then this is, for instance, the G-Class buying review. So, if you want to check around here, we have all the live shows, for instance, the Cars in Comments, which is the live show that we do now. I call it Cars in Comments because you guys can comment me and later I can, answer you guys. I can't do it now because, hey, I'm busy. POV driving, all the point of view videos I made, some reviews that I did last year. One video that doesn't get enough views is this Range Rover that I was very happy to make, but that's how the internet works. People want to watch what they want to watch. If you want to contact me, contact form. And if you really, really like my work and you support KLB Productions, you can even download your own wallpaper here. But that's just fun and games, isn't it? I just wanted to let you guys see my website. It's been up there for many years. It does get some views, but I just wanted to share it and put it out there. What else? Yeah, this year we started with live streams. I can't guarantee I do this every month, but I like to make them. And whenever I have time, like a Tuesday evening like today, I was thinking, yeah, let me just sit down and make another live stream. So that's new. If you guys like this, I will do this on a monthly basis. On a monthly basis, you get your buying reviews. That will continue for hopefully still many more years to come. Well, I'm getting tired. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's the recap of 2021. I want to thank each and all of you for watching and subscribing and sticking with me. And I want to thank all of you, really. Also, I want to say this. Have happy holidays together with your family, friends, loved ones, people that matter to you. Stay close in these kind of weird times that we're living in. And just make the best of it. Just hope that next year is gonna bring more possibilities again. And even though I like to sit behind a computer, I mean, it's been quite a lot these last 2 years. So if we can change that, then it would be great. Anyway, I will sign off. It's been great talking to you guys. I'm glad that I can shut up for the next couple of hours because I feel my throat actually. I do that, guys. I do that for you guys. It's no problem. I sacrifice myself. You know that. Yeah, that's it. That's it, guys. Again, thanks for watching. If you want more details, more information, go to my website. And also all the cars I discussed earlier during this live stream. I have a lot of individual videos on Mercedes cars out there on my channel. Just browse, go to the playlists, search on the channel. Might as well do that right now. Let's see, YouTube. If no, Eagle Eye Productions, KLB. See, this is my channel. And we're now live, which is nice. Here you can search, for instance, W140. And you'll be presented by not only the CL, but also the S-Class. And here you see a picture of your first Benz less than 8K. Now we up the ante a little bit. We have certain playlists here. You know how YouTube works. I mean, Mercedes-Benz. And here you see all the buying reviews. For instance, I made a lot of videos on Mercedes-Benz. Go check it out if you're interested. Thanks guys for watching, and we will quit this live stream right now. Happy holidays and great 2020.